You said you have the White Russian mix and vodka.
Yeah, because usually it's just Kahlua vodka and cream, but I got the White Russian mix, which it's only like 11.2. So
Gotta add more than that. Gotta be more than that.
I got vanilla flavored vodka, and then I just poured some milk in there, like a third of each, I guess.
Well, I wish I would have brought some of that up there with me here to Cleveland. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Gold. Gold.
you gotta find a tailgate up there, I guess.
Yeah, I can hear all the noise. I know there's no one here behind me, but I can hear all the noise starting to gather up in the parking lot. So time for me to go ahead and get over there and see what's going on. Maybe it'll be a little bit different here in 30 seconds. Kumo G in the house. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting Andy here today, so I'm going to go ahead and bless you guys with bigger photos of us.
I don't know if you
Birdie,
want to do all
Birdie baby sleeping on us today. Um, yeah, man. Hey, for one, before we even kick into this, oh Hefe, man, I'm loving the jersey right now. That's really, really, really love, dude. That game yesterday was phenomenal. Did you guys get a chance to check that out?
that.
It's the only game I watched start to finish like all year, and it happened to be it
5 hours
was amazing.
long.
It was amazing, man.
Yeah,
Drew,
I
I
mean, it took,
some good live pictures from that game.
yeah,
He
yeah,
did.
it took all day. So, I mean, wasn't much else to watch as long as long as you put that on. That was pretty much on for more than half of the day. What was it, 15 innings? I think it was. I called a different walk off. So if you go on if you follow me on Twitter at all, then after Jose Ramirez made that incredible scoop and throw, can't remember what inning it was. He was up to bat, up to lead off in the bottom of the inning, and I was like, all right, I call him. I'm calling it now. He's walking off. He struck out immediately. So
I think that was the bottom of the 11th. I think
yeah, yeah. Needless to say, that did not age well. So, but at least someone walked off. Gonzalez, right? So, hey,
it's a good young player, man.
Ramirez, Gonzalez. I was kind of close. So anyway, man, week five, dude, already. Like, it's funny because everybody, or it's not everybody, but some people seem to think that the football season lasts so long. Um, but it really doesn't, man. Like, it blows by us. Before you know it, we're going to be halfway through. Um, I mean, Deshaun Watson's actually allowed to return to the facility after this week is over. So I mean, I know he can't play until week 12, but we're getting closer and closer. Before you know it, we're going to be to that point where
He's still not allowed to attend massage parlors though, right?
maybe, probably not the traditional ones. He might be able to go to Massage Envy or something when they do it in the open, but definitely no private sessions. He's all out, he's all out in the open or not. If he wants to massage, he just has to do it out on the field in front of all of in front of all staff.
I don't think
Uh,
we want it. I don't think we want that after we saw what AB did wherever the hell he was in the Mid East.
oh yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, yeah, I don't think being in public really matters for many people anymore.
I was going to say I
Um,
don't think D-Wop minds that.
yeah, it's
That's another fetish he has.
yeah. I wonder what Antonio Brown's fetish is. Just being a
Uh,
fool, I guess.
He's just a weirdo, man. He's just a weirdo.
yeah,
I used I used to have a fetish for his fantasy points. Now he doesn't even play, so if they could just keep him out of the news, I wouldn't mind. Um, all right, so you guys did a deal. We're here to go ahead and line your pockets with some money here. Give you a way to pay, at least pay for your lunch throughout the work week, but hopefully enough money to quit your job. Um, Hey, I haven't quit mine yet. As a matter of fact, I feel like I'm working two or three. So um, I take everything we say here with a grain of salt, or more than likely, take those picks and just use more money and play more lineups than we do. I think that's more the problem, more often than not. So yeah, like I said, it's week 5. We got a very interesting slate coming up here. Just for everyone who has already been here and the people who are just now joining us for the first time this season, we give our picks for cash games. Now, our cash games are going to be our 50-50s, double ups, triple ups, quintuple ups, and all of those fine little things, head to heads, and so on and so forth.
So you just got to beat half the people.
Well, it depends because like a triple up, you're going to have to beat
right.
a little bit half the people or whatnot. But yeah. So yeah, and if you hear us referencing GPP, those are your grand prize pools, those are your lottery tickets and stuff. We don't really give our picks for those, but you'll hear a couple references from here and there, like this wouldn't be a bad sneaky play here or there. So, but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and kick things off there. We give you 4 players who have to stay under 28,000. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering this number. Probably because I stay so far under it all the time, but under 28,000. And then we also give you a deep dive. Now, I will tell you our deep dive is 4,000 or less. So typically that particular pick is not only going to set you away from everyone else in the cash games, but it wouldn't be a bad play for your GPP lineups if you are interested in trying to hit it big. But we like to make money every week guaranteed. So cash game it is for us. So to kick things off here, we are going to lead off a quarterback. Just because I had an eventful last night and I'm still working on my lineups a little bit, I do have my quarterback, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys start this one off. So, Kai, you have the pleasure of being to my direct right. So, Nettie Tredswater, who you going with?
I'm going with Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater today. No regrets when you're playing the Jets. He's only $5,400. So he's going to save you some money. And I think after, last week where he had to come in and play, and he's just going to be a little bit better. Again, I've been taking chances with quarterbacks this year, but I need to save some room for the rest of this lineup. So Teddy Bridgewater, $5,400, no regrets playing the Jets.
Old Teddy Two Gloves. Man, I feel like it's been a while since we had Andy on here saying something like that, man. We got to get him back. I'm going to start picking him up on Saturday nights to make sure that he's here on Sunday morning. El Jefe, who you rolling with at quarterback this week?
Well, as far as your Kai, you taking your picks last week did all right. If you'd have played Matt Ryan for his price, mixed match with some of the guys that we threw out there, man, you got paid easy. But I'm going the other side of this one. I don't know if I've ever started Jalen Hurts, but 8,100, he's number 2 on the list. And look, man, the guy's really good, and I think he's getting better. And he showed last week that even if he's a little bit off through the air, he can salvage your day. On the ground, he had 16 carries and a touchdown. So there's always the threat of him throwing multiple touchdowns and rushing for touchdowns. And this game, they're going to throw a lot. I like both the receivers. I don't have either one in my core, but I like both receivers today as far as doubling up and piggybacking people. Today would be a good day to do it with Philly. But I'm spending all the way up, man, 8,100 on Hurts and looking for a 4-touchdown day. They're going to have to score in Arizona. So he's going to be the focus of this offense on the ground and the air.
Yeah, Hurts is, especially in cash games, I'm going to be honest with you, Hurts is just it's a solid pick. Pretty much him and Josh Allen. It's almost hard not to make lineups featuring one of the two of those guys right now. But when you do it, you are spending up, so it does come at risk of, with your other positions. But nonetheless, that you're going to get your points for it, and especially when they're in a smash position like both of them are this week. I will be making multiple lineups, and I will have them included in them. So I'm actually jotting these down. Or are you jotting them down?
I got them.
All right. So I will let you go ahead and handle those duties here.
Let me get the price. Kai, how much is 2 gloves?
54.
All right, gotcha.
Fuck.
All right. So I'm going with Old Reliable this week. It's been very, very, very hard to go with them. But Tom Brady is only $6,000 coming off of his best game of the season, which wasn't really all that good. And now he's playing an Atlanta defense that ranks really close to the bottom of the pack in defensive DVOA this year. And I know that the plus matchup hasn't seemed to be in Tom Brady and the Bucks' favor this year, but that's also been because they haven't been healthy. Well, rumor has it this Bucks offense is actually healthy today. Everybody's going to be out there, so I really love this position for them. I believe what is it that I wrote down? He's actually the QB 10 this week, which I think is crazy. I mean, that's spending down. I don't know how much you said two gloves was, but I imagine the difference between the two of them is not too much. But you're right, no regrets when you're playing the Jets. Um, but yeah, the Falcons ranked 29th in pressure rate. That's what it was, and that seems to be where everyone's been slowing down the Bucks. If they've been able to get to Tom Brady this year, he hasn't been able to get the ball out to his receivers. So these guys are not only not going to be able to get pressure, but they don't defend well in the secondary. And Tom has got to have, we know what's going on between him and Giselle. I think he's about to get some frustration out this week. This might be one of those few weeks that we know that Tom's going to lead the NFL. He always has a few of them. So.
Well, if he needs to, he called Deshaun Watson if he needs to get any other frustrations out.
Well,
Poor Robert Kraft.
Yeah, I think I hear that they know they have some recommendations, but their recommendations aren't as discreet as you may think, considering the news comes out. All right, let's move on over to running back here. El Jefe, you want to go ahead and lead us off with your running back for week 5?
All right, yeah. And as far as the whole thing goes, you said it's a weird week 5, and you look at the pricing this week, it is a really weird week. I mean, the best tight ends are almost deep dives, So I'm spending up on running back too, man. I really like Nick Chubb, but I don't trust the Browns to do the right thing with Nick Chubb. He's been having a phenomenal year, but it could be better. He's still not even over the 20 touch mark on an average. So I'm going to the other side of the ball, man. And I usually don't like to ride someone after a huge game, but Eckler had a huge game. The dude's averaging almost 8 catches, 10 targets a game. And so far the Browns have kind of underachieved. I know they talked about the defense a lot coming into this year, but especially in the second half of games, man, these teams run the ball. I don't know if you heard that the audio from last week's game in Atlanta when they got the ball and they said, we're just going to run the ball, and they ran the ball 15 times in a row and scored. So there's no reason that the Chargers, I know Herbert's amazing, but there's no reason they don't ride Eckler today, and he's still going to get his touches. So I'm pretty sure he finds the end zone a couple times. I'm going up 7,800 for Eckler. He's number 2. So that's 2 number 2s I've taken so far, and I usually don't do that.
You know who's number 2? Derek Jeter.
Who does number 2 work for? I hope that you're right on that pick, man, because I needed that effort from him last week in our home league, and I got it. It really catapulted me to a win. I could probably use it again this week because I got some injuries out there. But I wouldn't necessarily fade Nick Chubb. That Chargers defense, one thing that they have been very, very incapable of doing is stopping the run. And even if the Browns look like a shit show this week for any reason, which I hopefully expect them not to, the one thing that they will be doing is running the football. So hopefully Nick Chubb, hopefully Kareem Hunt, hopefully both of them get it in. I'm actually spending down again at this position, which this is the complete opposite of what I have been doing this year. Is spending down at the quarterback and running back position, but I'm going 5,500 with Ramondre Stevenson against the Detroit Lions. We obviously know that they're just a terrible, terrible, terrible rush defense. So this matchup is fantastic. Detroit has given up the second most fantasy points to opposing backs, including 5.3 yards per attempt. They've allowed the most rushing touchdowns to running backs in the league too. And just to kind of piggyback off of just loving this Stevenson pick here. He's actually gotten more played more snaps than Damian Harris the past 3 games. So something's starting to go on there. He's also the receiving guy out of the two, and that's very valuable in DraftKings because it's PPR scoring. So
I was going to say, is he the clear one? Is he the clear guy there?
I don't think there's ever been a such thing as a clear running back in a New England offense, unfortunately. But
Right.
And as I'm deciding to take this pick, this is going to be the week where is that slate? Is that's not slate?
Bills.
You guys have so many different wide receivers playing. We're watching this London game.
That's because they're all hurt.
Some random number 13 just made some catch for the Giants.
It's Kenny Stills 5.
Yeah,
Tiptoeing the line.
That's Odell Beckham the third. So yeah. This will probably be the week though where Damian Harris ends up leading the backfield and snaps just
3
because.
touchdowns.
Yeah, it's Bill's a hard guy to go with, but it's the Lions, so even if he gets more snaps, I still think that Ramondre Stevenson is just in too much of a smash position not to play. So for 5,500, definitely rolling with that. My lineup will be fat today with these pay down options. I mean, full of them. Nettie Tridgewater, where you going for running back?
Well, I am going with Jeff's first thought of going with Nick Chubb. He's $8,000, but I don't think he's had a game this year where he's getting less than 18. And I don't know, man. I think it's going to be his game today. Home game, and they're underdogs, and I think he's the reason. And I hate to say it, but he's the reason the Browns are as good as they are at 2-2, which they should be 3-1, maybe even 4-0. But he would be the reason either way. He's the team, man. So I'm going for him. Like I said, he's averaging at least 17, 18 points. So that's my guy. I feel like it's not big risk, big reward, but you're going to get rewarded.
Yeah, like I said, that Chargers defense, like the one thing that they do is they give it up to the running back position. So I don't think that's a bad pick in, at least even for the price. I wouldn't really start fading Nick Chubb unless he got closer to like those McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor numbers for like when they're playing consistently. Like if you start stiffing $9,000, that's when I'm sitting here like I probably have better options. I'd rather pair up 2 lower running backs that are going to slightly outperform him or something. All right, so that moves us over to the wide receiver position. Now I am going back to something I've gotten away from the past couple weeks here, and that's the good old stack. So I'm stacking Chris Godwin with Tom Brady today. Obviously, if I expect Brady to have an amazing game, then that's going to include his wide receivers. This Atlanta defense, like I said, just really bad in the secondary, really bad on defense in general, no low pressure rate. It's been a slow start for Godwin coming off of that ACL injury. Obviously, I think he played week 1, and then he missed a couple games, I think, with a hamstring injury. And then he came back, and he's been pretty decent. But, he came out of that game pretty much unscathed last week. So he practiced full all week long. They got rid of the injury designation, the questionable tag very, very early in the week, which is always a good sign. So, I mean, for 5,900, I don't think that you can really get much better than the number one guy for this. He saw 10 targets last week. That's 37% target share. And his totals versus, I actually took a screenshot of this. This is what I've been looking at because it's pretty spectacular. So since 2018, his game totals in DraftKings against Atlanta have been 17.6, 32.4, 40.4, 13.6, 33.3, 16.2, and 33.2. That's 8.9 targets per game on a clearance of 5,900 for this week. So silly not to take him in cash. You can build around that lineup. Like I said, as of right now, I have a guy that's 6,000, 5,500, and 5,900. I'm coming on the way low end of that 28,000 this week. Nettie Teddy.
I am going kind of low on this, not real low, but Curtis Samuel, $5,800. The Washington Commandos. Just going with him because I have what's the name, McLaurin, on a couple of fantasy teams, and he hasn't really been doing this thing. But it seems like Curtis Samuel is doing his thing. They're playing against Tennessee, not a really good past either. So for $5,800, I like Curtis Samuel. Again, I think he'll get you about 14, 15 today. Touchdown, 80 yards, 6 catches. Let's go.
Yeah, but hey, it's going to be the reverse for you this week too, though. But maybe that help you out with some Terry McLaurin.
Right.
But
either way, I win.
Yeah, that's sometimes that is the nature of my picks. Is I'm just looking at it, I'm like, you know what, my opponent has this guy, so at least if I lose, then I should hopefully make some money. So some of it, I'd probably say a large portion of it is mental. Do whatever works for you. When you're as involved in fantasy as we are, you kind of have to. Make sure you leave the week with some wins, or else your upcoming week might not be so fun. Let's go Commando. El Jefe, who you got at wide receiver this week?
Wow, I'm just looking at all these, and you guys are paying down almost all the way across the board. The only pick that you guys have over 6 is Chubb. I'm approaching this week completely different. I'm usually pretty far away from the 28, and I'm maxing it out this week. I am going 28,000. And like I said, Hurts 81, Eckler 78. I'm going Marquise Brown, 7,200. Look, the dude's averaging 8 to 10 catches over the last couple of weeks, a couple 100-yard games, a couple touchdowns. And it seems like him and Murray are actually finding each other. You know what I mean? I think that they're really working it out right now. And like you said, that's a game where there's going to be points put on the board in order to win. And look, no reason to think that Marquise Brown doesn't have a middle between the last 2 games, 10 catches, 122 yards, and a touchdown, which will pay out the 7,200 for sure. But look, I think that it's only getting better for those guys, and it'll even get better when Hopkins comes back. But for now, they've figured out that Brown is the number 1 guy, and they're just going to keep throwing him the ball. Kyler Murray's going to throw him the ball at least 12 times a day. 7,200, Marquise.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Marquise Brown has been smashing this year. I can't lie. Obviously it has to have something to do with that college connection. Those seem to be working out. I keep saying it every week. However, I'm going to be honest. They have Philly this week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one I'm staying away from. I'm done trying. If it hits for this week, I have more power to you. But I am done with it now because I've already been burnt trying to pick the person that's going to go off against Philly. It hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened. That defense is I know we don't talk about defenses on here, but that's one I'm trying to slot in every single matchup every week. They are just smashing on all cylinders right now. Philly is, whoever would have thought. I think there was like a 2 or 3 year stretch where the team that played Philly first at the beginning of the season went to the Super Bowl and won. It was something weird like that. Now it's like Philly's out here just dumping on everybody. And still, are they the only undefeated team still?
Yeah. Yep.
That's you. No one could have made that pick. No one. There's no one out there that made that. So, wondering if they're going to fall back to earth. And I know that sucks to hear because that's in your division guy. But man, those guys are playing some really, really
good.
Great football.
Yeah, they're good. I don't like to say it ever that the Eagles are good, but they are.
Yes.
I think they win the division hands down. And I think second will be between us and the Cowgirls. We'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the wide receivers. So we're going to go ahead and jump on over to tight end, which it's always a really questionable position.
Not last week. Not last week. It wasn't.
So who you got at tight end, Jeff?
I usually don't go back to back, but look, DJ Chark is still out. DeAndre Swift is still out. Detroit's scoring a lot of points, and if you were to get paid last week,
Gotta get him.
TJ Hawkinson had to be in your lineup, and that's not even for double ups. That was the pick that could have made you money in the GPP that we talk about, because that dude showed out 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. And honestly, there's no reason to think that this high scoring offense isn't going to keep going to him. I mean, I know that defense is a little bit better today, but Hawk's a tier 1 guy at the position. And for 4,900, that's what makes this tight ends. I think there's only one tight end over 5,000. So it's a pay down without really paying down, because all the prices are low. But for 4,900, and like I said, he fits me right into 28,000 even. So, I mean, half that game last week, and he's worth 4,900. 5 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown. So I'm going back to the big baby in Detroit, man. Hawkinson. Got to get him in.
Yeah, he pretty solid pick. I didn't really want to pick against against my guys, and that defense has played very, very lights out. But Hawkinson he might fit that mold, because I hear that Amon-Ra is expected to play. And I don't know what the status is on Swift yet. So I don't know if he's
out. I think he's out.
Yeah. So, it's still New England's going to take away what you do best. So I imagine that they'll in that event they'll actually look for Amon-Ra, and then if Swift is there too, then they'll show more attention on him, which will open it up more for TJ Hawkinson. So I actually like that pick as well this week. The only reason I'm not putting it in my 4 is because it's going against my team. If I'm to tell the truth, I'll have some lineups with them in there. Ron wanted to give a shout out and tell you dope jersey. But then he also wanted to follow up with a little bit of I don't even know if I would call it hate or not, but it's something in there.
Jeff,
I don't. I don't.
I'm about
to start though.
He's in the process of tweeting. He hasn't quite tweeted yet, but he will.
got some things to tweet about now.
and then Ronnie's going with golf. Apparently, I was a little bit late on these comments. This was at 11:07 that he sent these.
Oh man, you about 20 minutes late.
Golf. I mean, if you like TJ, then
Jared Goff pick is 20 minutes late.
He's cheap.
Yeah, El Cheapo. All right, Nettie, who you going with that tight end this week?
Hey, what do we say when you're playing the Jets? Have no regrets. I'm going with Gesicki. He's $3,500, and he's not my deep dive / tight end. He is only my tight end. Even though you could use him as both. Again, $3,500. Both of the big guys there in Miami. I think they're both are going to be playing, but they've been questionable the whole week. By that I mean Waddle and the Cheetah. So I think hopefully they won't be playing as many. Maybe they'll be on a pitch count or something. I'm hoping. So I think Gesicki might be the man this week. I'm hoping he's the man this week, because my last week was not good at all. Not good at all. So I'm hoping this week I turn it around. And so for my 4 guys, I'm only at $22,700 too. That leaves me room for some really prime players. So Gesicki, Dolphins, no regrets playing the Jets.
Yeah, hey, I don't have a problem with that pick whatsoever. I think that he's a favorable target in that offense, and then with Teddy Bridgewater going out there, for one, you have yourself a stack, and the stacks always seem to work out. And 2, that might be somebody who works in favor of what Teddy can do with that football. He's not necessarily going to get that ball downfield on the plays that are more favorable for Tyreek Hill per se. Jalen Waddle has a little bit of he does a little bit of work in the slot, so I think he probably still pan out to be a pretty good pick this week. But that definitely favors the tight end position a little bit more, maybe even those running backs. So I I can't remember because I thought it was going to be Gaskin, but who's their running back? Chase Edmonds, is that it? Is that who
Yes.
Miami's running back? Yeah, yeah. So
Mostert.
he's kind of,
I started Edmonds in one of my leagues. I had to.
Mostert will be a good pick too. I do think
Yeah.
that they'll run the football. I think they'll run the football a little bit more. So those are guys, and I
Yeah,
know I hadn't
probably.
mentioned, those are guys who I think may be some favorable picks in GPP. Unfortunately, I don't know ownership, so I can't really throw it at anyone. But I imagine that the ownership's got to be low there for those guys. So I would definitely take
Mostert's touching the ball, so it's possible. We know what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I'm going with Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee is only.
Sorry. They should have picked that, man. Maybe not. That was deep.
Yeah, look, Aaron Rodgers is so upset. He's like, "Oh man, somebody dropped the pick." Oh, this guy.
Yeah, their first touchdown was after a questionable call. I'm not liking these refs today. Sorry, go ahead, man. I apologize.
Hey, your week started very early this morning, so
Yeah,
I'm not mad. But yeah, tight end, I'm going Tyler Higbee at 4,300. I mean, his volume through the first month of the season, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and it's still there. It's too hard to pass up on cash games. From week 1 through 4, Higbee leads all tight ends in targets. That's with 38. It's tied with Travis Kelce for a lead in receptions with 26. And then 4th in yards. Allen Robinson is non-existent in that offense, and that's benefiting Tyler Higbee heavily. And I don't see that changing whatsoever unless they bring in another receiver, like if Odell comes back or something like that. And even then, that would be later on down the line. So Higbee is almost a must play every week. You got to get him in your lineups regardless of whether or not he's in a higher percentage of your lineups or not. That's going to be based off a matchup. Other than that, you should always have a lineup that has Tyler Higbee in it. I just gave you the numbers where he's either outpacing or on par with Travis Kelce, and we all know that we would play Travis Kelce every single week if we could afford him. So why would you not play someone with the same exact? So it's really
Rodgers looking like a piece of poo-poo on the floor. Got him. Sorry.
So you add that 26% target share, and I mean, this is like a smash play for 4,300 at the tight end position. So wrapping up my 4, I mean, I like I said, I'm on the very, very bottom end of that. I'm at 21,700 with my 4, so I'm leaving a lot of room to get some of those players that you want to get in those lineups. Me personally, I'll be getting me some Justin Jefferson in this week. Trust and believe on that. So, but let's go ahead and kick things over to our deep dives. Like I said, our deep dive picks are going to be our smelly picks that no one really wants a part of, but really it's the shortcut way to win you some money. Not every single one of them is going to be a Mac Hollins or a can't remember who the other guy was that week. Somebody else went off that week. Might have been your guy, Jeff. Can't remember though.
No, the week before Dorchert went off.
Dorch,
yeah. And Dorch might be in play this week because Rondell Moore, I believe, is questionable. So,
yeah.
But yeah, hey, you got to get these picks in your lineups to set yourselves apart. If you want to go ahead and go play some of those GPP lineups, then you definitely want to go ahead and fit these guys in. They're not only going to save you money, but they should be low percentage owned. It should help you go ahead and separate yourself from the pack, so you can cash up here and not be out here splitting all this money with all these jokers. So let's go ahead and start with you, Kai. Let's go ahead and get your deep dirty dive this week.
I ain't trying to split no money with your jokers.
Hey, how about we do Triple D, the deep dirty dive? How about this?
Triple D, 36 Triple D, 36 Triple D. That's the price and the size. I'm going with the one DeAndre Carter for the LA Clippers or San Diego Superchargers. I refuse to call them the Los Angeles Chargers. But anyway, LA Clippers, DeAndre Carter. I can't think of his name right now because he hasn't played in all year. The Chargers receiver, their number one guy. So yeah, him. So I have DeAndre Carter, $3,900. He should be their 2 or 3 guy. And Brown secondary, not looking great this year. Perfect weather out there, so there should be a lot of thrown balls by one Mr. Justin Herbert. So yeah, I'm going DeAndre Carter for $3,900.
That is a very solid one. I couldn't find one because I waited until the last minute. Oh, by the way, David Montgomery, healthy. He'll be playing today. So good thing I didn't take that Khalil Herbert pick.
Don't pick the Herbert today.
I really like that pick, and I don't have much else to say besides Keenan Allen. You think he could go ahead and come back and play some football? Own you in 2 to 3 leagues. Be really, really nice if you weren't hitting me with the Julio Jones right now. Let's go, dude. Let's go. El Jefe, who you deep diving on? Deep dirty.
I know usually we don't like to have 2 tight ends in our lineups unless it's something crazy. But I mean, for real, David Njoku's $3,800, and 17 targets, 14 catches the last 2 games. I mean, that's way more than 3,800. And in this game that looks to be, you're going to have to keep moving the ball and scoring touchdowns. I don't see any reason why Brissett doesn't continue to look for David Njoku. And like we said, for 3,800, all it takes is 3 catches, number of yards, and a touchdown. But we also know this guy is capable of busting off an 80-yarder, and he's so athletic and fast. And so 3,800, I mean, Njoku, no reason why he's not involved in the game today as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Isaiah McKenzie's out. I have some lineup choices to make here. I've been a sleeper league, and pretty much my whole entire team is hurt. I don't think I have any more receiver. I think I might have to play Chase Claypool, as bad as that seems. So I'm going to be doing a deep dive in my sleeper league, but that's not the one I'm choosing here. So yeah, my deep dive this week, I'm actually going to kick it over to my team. So I'm going to do the 40 triple D, and that's going to be Nelson Aguilar against the Detroit Lions. So I mean, he's had a couple decent games, nothing spectacular, but with this rookie quarterback coming in, my guy Zappe. No, I didn't know who he was before last week, but he is now my guy, Zappe. So I imagine that this offense is going to get a little bit tricky. They're going to definitely run the ball a lot more than usual, but they're not going to stay completely one-dimensional. So he'll have to get the ball out. And I've read some pretty decent things about this guy, and honestly, he's got some upside that sounds better than what some of the reports were for Mac Jones when we drafted him. Now, am I saying he's going to be the starter when Mac Jones comes back? No. But I don't mind them for a 1 week. I think I can value these receivers and stuff a little bit more than what I'd be able to do if Brian Hoyer was the one that was out there. I do look for this team to take some attempts this week and see if they can get Nelson Aguilar going. He's probably the most experienced receiver out there. Jonnu Smith is out. Hunter Henry just has not looked good since like week 12 of last year. So I think that Nelson Aguilar is the guy to target here. So for $4,000, Nelson Aguilar will be in my lineups this week to help me go ahead and cash up in some of those lineups. But yeah, those are our dives for this, or I'm sorry, our 4 and our dive this week. You guys got any like start sit questions, or I did the same thing I did last week. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. I have one really solid one, and I have no idea where I put it. I have to start putting them somewhere when people ask me, but no one asked them in the comment section. They text me, They Facebook message me. They do all these random things, and then I just don't know where I put them. If you guys submit them to the same place, we'll answer them for you on the show. That's what you want. That's what you want to do. That's too much going on. I can't remember. I want to help you guys. I probably answer your questions on the spot anyway, so I probably help you guys anyway. But I would love to ask questions live. So, but any some questions or any extra add-ins? Either one of you guys got any GPP lineups this week you want to share? I haven't made mine yet.
I will say it doesn't look good for Saquon Barkley right now. If you got Saquon Barkley, he's didn't have a seat for the last 3 minutes, so that's unfortunate for Big Blue.
Is he hurt?
He didn't look good. He got up pretty slow and he walked right over to the trainer, and he hasn't been in these last 4 minutes.
Oof. Hey, it's starting to get around that. It's starting to get around that time. Week 5, week 6, week 7. Which reminds me, Chuba Hubbard is probably still on all of your waiver wires. Go and pick him up this week. You don't want to have to face the rest of the waiver wire once McCaffrey goes down. So if you got the spot, you can go ahead and stash him. And then if McCaffrey makes it through the week, just drop him on Wednesday and then pick him back up again on Sunday. So do it all. Do it until it happens. I mean, we know what's coming, so ain't no reason.
Trade him for Eckler
later. So, but yeah, hey, I mean that definitely wraps it up this week. I think we all got some nice picks. I can't wait to see how this week shapes up. I think the pay down option is going to probably work out a lot, but I like your picks a lot, Jeff. Spending up, so let's see which side ends up taking it this week. But you know what? I do. Even though I didn't have the rest of the picks, I think we all got into the competition last week, so I should.
While you're doing that, Tyreek Hill is active. Mac Jones is inactive.
No, we both covered and got paid in double ups. And your lineup that you had with us was huge. 170, that'd have got you some money.
I mean,
picks matched our picks perfectly last week. You might have won one of those big games, man.
Yeah, in order to win those where it's like hundreds of thousands of people, you got to score above like 220.
Yeah. Well, you take your Ryan, you take my Hawk, and you take some of Joe's guys and put them all in there. That was a team.
You got to know which ones are the right ones.
Like I said, you mix and match. You got to pick them right.
Or just do 8 lineups, all the combinations.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't go into a week without less than about 25 lineups. Honestly, I put a ton in, so it's just a matter of I really need to start doing them earlier. I think that's my problem. Is that just the way that my weeks have been going with work and everything else. I don't get my picks in until either sometimes late Saturday night, but other than that, like today, for example, as soon as we wrap this up here, I'm going to start putting my lineups in. I only have an hour. So it's only, I can't span them out the way I want to, but I need to figure out a way to start getting them in a little bit earlier in the week because just to look at it, last week I had Josh Allen who, not as big of a game as we would have liked, but still finished with 24.5 points. Then I had Dameon Pierce as my main running back, and he finished with 28.9. A.J. Brown definitely had a slow game, but he still finished with 14.5 points. And then I also had Hawkinson, and he had 42.9. So I think my deep dive was Alec Pierce, and he had 12. So that lineup ended up really, really taking off. So that would have definitely been a good one. I don't want to spend the time to tally up these core 4 winners. So what we'll do is I'm going to take these out right now, and then I'm going to make sure I track them. We'll just do a double ceremony next week. So we'll have the winner from week 4 and a winner from week 5.
If I remember correctly, Joe, I think you were at 110 or 115 with your 4. I think I got to like 85, 86. And
I got to like 41 or 2.
Yeah. One of us does that every week.
One of us has to shit the bed, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's not Danny Dimes right now. Let's go, Danny Dimes. Oh, he's bleeding all over the place. What a stud.
Yeah.
Giants about to tie it up against these slackers. On that note.
Yeah, let's see if that happens right there. Right now, it's just a 2 yard run, but he's extremely excited about it. So, uh,
Go
but
Tribe.
yeah, so go ahead and go get those lineups in. Yeah, absolutely, go Tribe.
Go
Uh,
Yankees.
mm,
Hey man, I'm on a lot of Yankee fan club pages on Facebook, and they're not giving the Guardians a chance. I think it'll go at least 4. I think we'll see 2 games in Cleveland.
Yeah. Hey, the Guardians haven't been given a chance the entire season. To be honest with you, as a matter of fact, if you go and pull some of our takes, you'll hear me, you'll hear Andy, for sure, saying that there was no way that this team was going to be any good. So, hey, I'm okay with eating crow. I don't mind it. Um, I love where they are. This team has rallied behind this new name and everything else, and they're playing spectacular. So.
So
Hopefully, I can.
young. So
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm all.
if they can keep their players and pay them. I mean, your boy Jose took a hometown discount, so they should be able to actually pay some players. But we'll see. They look good. Good, great pitching, great defense. Can't couldn't hit the last 2 games, but hey, all you needed was 1 or 2.
Hey, they're gonna go Guardians in 6.
It's not gonna happen. It's only a 5-game series.
Five
But
game
what?
series. Oh, so it's 3-5. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Still
So it'd be
6.
you got the bonus game. You watching it in the stadium behind you. Just imagine if they had to play today, how crazy Cleveland would be, though.
It's hard. It's hard to keep up with all the changes that baseball keeps trying to make all late and stuff. Just like leave it the same. Like they had the wild card game, the 1 game wild card game, which turned into like a 2
3 games.
teams get by now. And now there's a 3
Go
card
go go
wild
go.
card. These other things. Stop changing it. Stop changing baseball. The only thing you guys should have changed is what you did change, was getting rid of that shift. And I can't wait till that starts. But other than that, just stop changing baseball. It's stupid. All right, fellas. Well, another good week. Let's go ahead and get out there and win us some money. I'm going to go get these lineups in so I can get my pockets fat this week. Maybe I'm about to just run this lineup and see if I can hit another 170 and on 25 lineups and win a whole bunch of money and gloat next week. But until we have that conversation again, same bet time and same bet channel.
Go Giants.
See you next.
About to score right here. Whoa!